Welcome. So I'm going to take you through a short pregnancy Pilates and yoga blend of a class. And so you'll need a prop, so either a yoga block if you've got one, if not, just a towel folded up or a pillow will work fine. So we're going to start in a comfortable sitting position, so that might be kneeling. If you want to be on a chair or a ball, you can, or I'm actually going to use the block and I'm just going to perch it behind my sit bones like this. So I'm just forwards a little bit, and that's going to help me to keep the spine nice and tall. So whichever position you choose, just make sure you're comfortable. So let's just take a moment to focus on our breath. So let's bring one hand to baby, one hand to heart. So our right hand is a giver of energy as our left hand is a taker. So we're taking it from our own heart and passing it on to baby. So either just dropping the eyeline or closing the eyes. Let's just take a nice deep breath in. In through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And just taking this time just to check in on your body. Maybe a quick scan from top to bottom. And see how your body feels today. Pregnancy is forever changing from day to day. So just taking this time to give yourself a little bit of attention and love. So I just want you to send your breath into any areas that you might be holding tension, maybe the shoulders, the jaw, the lower back. And as you breathe out, just try and give that body permission to let go. Feel that body melting into the floor below. Taking this time to connect with your baby. And enjoying pregnancy and movement. Moving together as you are on this journey together. And as we open up the eyes now, let's take a big breath in. As we reach the arms up, we're going to bring them up to a prayer position. Look up toward your ring finger. This just opens up your upper back. And then release it out. And again, nice big breath in, reaching up. Feel that stretch in that spine, and then exhale, releasing down. Let's take that once more. Big breath in. And out. Good. And then this time we're going to take the arms up overhead. We're going to grab hold of the left wrist and we're going to take a side bend over to the right. Feel this space that you've created in the ribs now, and take a lovely big breath in here. And then exhale, coming back to center. We're going to switch and take that on the other side. So I'm taking hold of that right wrist and pulling over. Keeping both sit bones down into the floor. Big breath into that right side of the rib. And then exhale. Release it down into rotation. So I'm getting the left hand is coming to the left knee and reaching round with the right. Try not to let the pelvis tilt forwards too much. And again, as we breathe in, we're going to feel some length up through the spine. And as you exhale, just see if you can rotate round over that right shoulder a little bit further. Breath in. And then breath out, bring it back to center, switching and bringing that right hand to the knee. Left hand behind, twisting open. So I'm using this hand to push around. Breath in as I find that length in the spine. And breath out as I twist round. Good. Breath in and then out as I come back to center. Bringing the hands to the knees now. And we're just going to circle round. Inhaling as that chest comes forwards. Exhaling as we draw baby back and round. Good. Getting all those clicks and clunks and tension out. And then let's change direction. Sweeping round one way and the other. Good. And then we're going to take a little side bend, dropping that right hand down, lengthening up through that left side. And just keep flowing. But again, I'm keeping the sit bones down into the floor. Babies are always finding any nook and cranny that they can wedge themselves into. So lots of space in the ribs is really desirable. So lots of side bending and opening up. Last one each way. Perfect. And then from here, we're going to come over into 4-point kneeling. So we're going to have the hands stacked under the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And I just want you to sway from side to side and just move with whatever feels natural for you. You might find you just want to take some little semicircles. And if you're struggling with any wrist pain, carpal tunnel syndrome at this point, rather than being on the forearms, you can come up onto the knuckles, or if you prefer, you could be down on the forearms. So just moving and flowing one way and then the other. Good. And then we're going to take a needle thread from here. So I'm reaching up with that left arm. Nice big stretch to the sky, and then threading under, dropping the ear towards the floor. Breath in as I reach open, try not to sway the hips, and breath out as I thread under. Let's take one more on this side. Breath in, reaching up, and breath out, threading under. And then let's switch sides, taking that right hand up. And it might feel different from one side to the other. One side might feel a little stiffer, maybe tight in the chest. And under. Last one here. Good. And then from here, let's just take a moment, reaching the hands forwards, nice and wide with the fingers, and then sink back into child pose. So sinking those hips back, knees wider if you need to make room for baby. Coming up from here, we're just going to do a little bit of work to open up the pelvis. So if we think about our pelvis in pregnancy, the pelvic bones open this way throughout pregnancy. This is our pelvic inlet to make room for baby. And then as we go through labour, the pelvis moves the other way, and this is our pelvic outlet. And so we need lots of motion in the joints at the back of the pelvis to keep both that inlet and outlet free. So we're going to look at a couple of mobility exercises to help with that. So this is where you're going to need your block or your towel. And we're just going to pop it under one knee. So I've got it underneath my right knee here. And then with this, I'm just going to rock into that right side. So as I move into that right side, I should feel this stretch across the back of the hip. And if you feel like you're not moving very far, then use something a little bit lower to come down onto. You can again add some little semicircles if bump doesn't get in the way as you circle round. So then this position could also be used as an active birth position when you're in labour. So it's opening up the pelvic floor, stretching through that side of the pelvic floor, and again changing that pelvic inlet and outlet. And then from here, staying in that same position, we're just going to take that left leg out to the side now. And then from here, we're going to continue to rock back and forth. So we've got this nice big stretch through your left inner thigh. And again, just nice and steady with the breath. And then from here, that right hand, so I've got right hand, right knee down. I'm going to send that left arm to the sky, like the needle thread before. Big breath in and really try and turn your bump open to the sky. And then release that back down, sink it back into that hip. And again, let's come forwards and open up. Nice big breath in. And exhale, sink it back. Lovely. From there, step that knee back in. Take your block out and just go back to those hip sways. Lovely. So we're going to take that on the other side. So again, pop that block underneath the left side. I'm just going to spin so you can see it from this angle. And then I can rock into that left hip. I'm trying not to sit back, so just nice and steady, flowing through. Again, you could do this on your forearms if that was too much for the wrists. Semicircles, and again, you're sort of listening to your body. How does that feel from one side to the other? It might feel a little tighter, so you use this as a diagnostic and then also as that treatment and then that active birth position. So it's got multi benefits here. Lovely. And then from there, again in that same position, step that right leg out to the side and I'm rocking back and forth. So now that stretches through that right side of my thigh. Flowing with the breath, whichever feels natural, just keep that breath flowing. And then this time it's left hand down, so same hand and knee. Right arm reaches up to the sky, turn baby up with you. And then exhale, closing back down. And again, nice big breath in and out. Let's take one more. And then release. Perfect. From there, take that block away and find that child pose position again. Sinking back, or if you're struggling again on those wrists or with heartburn, you might opt to come onto the forearms from here. Good. Okay, we're going to step the left leg out behind us now, and that leg's nice and long. The toes are tucked under, and I'm just going to rock back and forth, so I'm opening up the calf. Again, getting any fluid moving in the ankles. And then from here, give that left bum cheek a little squeeze. Gently draw baby into your spine and hover that left leg off the mat. Now I'm feeling like I'm pushing through the arms without locking the elbows, and I'm going to reach that right arm away into our superhero pose. Take a lovely big breath in, and as you breathe out, lengthen the arms and legs away even further. And then bring the hand down, but if we can, we're going to sweep this left leg forwards and through. If you need to use your hands, that's fine. And again, if you feel like the floor's a long way away, you could bring your block in, or your towel, or if you're using a birthing ball, and then we're just going to take some little openings at the hip. So I'm rocking forwards and backwards, little semicircles. So I've got a nice stretch through the front right thigh, and I'm mobilizing that left hip. Nice and steady through that lizard pose. So again, this could also be used as an upright active birth position. We've got that single-sided release on the pelvic floor and on the pelvis. I could be low, or I could be supported on the bed or on a birthing ball. Here we're going to add a little bit more strength to it. So we're going to press down through this left foot, bringing that weight up, and then let's reach those arms up. Softening the shoulders, big breath in, and then exhale, you're going to draw the arms back. Breath in across the chest, and then exhale, reach it back up. Good. Bring the hands back down either to your block or to the floor. Tuck the toes under on that back foot, and options now to lengthen that leg behind you. If not, leave the knee down and then just try and lift the chest. Big breath in. And then out, we're releasing the knee back down and then lifting or sliding that left leg behind you. And again then, just take a moment to just rock those hips from side to side. We're going to repeat that now on the other side. So right leg comes behind us, and then tucking the toes under as we rock back and forth into that calf stretch. Really press down through that heel, get all that fluid moving. And then from here, you can either leave that foot down or give that right bum cheek a little squeeze, helping strengthen out the hips. Lift that leg. Try not to collapse through your bump, so draw that back up and draw your belly and baby in. And then options to add that opposite arm. So really lengthening through. Breathing in and breathing out as you find even more length and space in the body. And then from here, the hands are coming down, and we're going to sweep that right leg forwards and through. So again, options to raise the hands up or leave them on the floor, and just gently rocking and rolling through that hip. So that nice release through the front of the left thigh. And then mobilizing into that right hip, but we're trying not to hunch over. We're pushing up and out of the floor. Perfect. And again, now the weight's going to come through that right foot. So you'll see I've got the ankle under the knee. I push down into the mat as I lengthen up into that half crescent pose. Softening the shoulders, but reaching through those fingers. Finding that stretch through the front of the thigh. And then again from here, breath in and then exhale. Draw those arms back, find that stretch through the chest. Breath in, reaching up. And breath out, drawing back. Bringing the hands back down to the floor. And again, stepping or sweeping that leg behind you. And back to those gentle rocks. From here now, we're just going to bring the knees a little bit wider and the feet apart. So this has opened up the back of your pelvic floor and that pelvic outlet. So this time we rock in and out of that child pose position. If that's too much for your knees, then bring those feet back to parallel. And so you should feel some space across the back of your sit bones, really releasing any tension in that pelvic floor. So in pregnancy, it's really important that we are strengthening the pelvic floor to help protect our pelvis, our back, against the weight of growing baby. But it's also the ability to learn to relax and release your pelvic floor, because that's what you need when it comes to labour. And the more relaxed that pelvic floor is, the easier and more comfortable your birth should become. So it's really important that you focus on pelvic floor stretching and relaxing. From here, we're going to come up into standing. So I'm going to bring the feet back, tuck the toes under. I'm taking the knees a bit wider and I'm moving backwards. If not, just meet us up in standing. So I'm pushing back, and with that nice wide stance here, I can just have a little rock. So again, in this deeper squat, I'm mobilizing the hips, helping to open up the pelvis, releasing tension through that lower back. But if this is too strong for you, then just come up into standing. So from here, I've got that right hand down. Again, I'm going to use that nice big opening of the chest with that left arm. And then switch the other way. Nice big stretch. And release. From here, I'm going to push through the feet as I exhale, if I can, using that prayer position to come up into standing. And then releasing down. From there, I take the feet a little bit wider, and I'm just going to take some figure of eights with the hips, so nice and steady. This is moving and mobilizing the pelvis and the lower back and creating some lovely space in the body. Change direction of that figure of eight if you can. Perfect. And then this time, let's just take it into some circles, bending those knees to allow that pelvis to move freely and protect the lower back. And then change direction. And again, you might feel you've got more motion going one way than the other. Perfect. And then from here, I'm almost using the fingers into the groin. So I'm staying in this wider stance. And then I'm keeping the back nice and long and the knees soft. And I'm just going to fold it forwards. So what that looks like from this angle is that spine is long. I'm gently drawing baby in. And then exhale. I squeeze through the sit bones and pull that bottom up. Inhale, tipping down. And exhale, coming back up. So we should feel this as a work into the back of the hamstrings. Just try not to lock those knees or round into the shoulders. So really feel like the tailbone and the crown of the head are coming forwards. The depth of that angle is up to you. Baby's gently drawn in. And we're just going to sweep those arms up. Big breath in, thumbs to the ceiling. Exhale, release it out. And again, drawing babies in. Exhale, release. Let's just do 3 more here. In and out. And 2. And 1. Good. And then from here, drop your bottom, sweep the arms forwards, coming up through that nice wide squat position. And then I'm just going to toe heel the feet back in. And then from here, I'm reaching up as if I'm climbing up a rope. So as I reach up, I'm dropping the hip on that reaching side, again creating some space in the side of the body. Let that breath flow. Good. And then from here, let's bring those hands back into prayer position. Draw the hands down and almost linger through that stretch just to release the wrists out. And then again, that hinge at the hips coming forwards. We're going to release all the way down to the mat this time. So if you need to take those feet wider for babies, just do that now. And then again with a softness in the knees, we're going to slide the hands up the shins, nice straight back, so half lift. And then exhale, fold it forwards. And again, half lift. And fold it forwards. Let's do that once more, half lift. And then fold it forwards. From here, working our way back down onto the mat, into that kneeling position. And then back to those rocks from side to side. Just going to do a little bit of work through the abdomen now. So we still want to work our tummy muscles in pregnancy, but we don't want to be doing big sit-ups and crunches. So we need to work the abdomen in a little bit more of an indirect position. So I've got index finger forwards, the toes are tucked under, and then I'm just gently drawing baby up and in. I want to feel like I'm pushing away from the mat with the shoulders without locking out. I take a breath in, and as I breathe out, gently hover off the mat. Take a breath in as you hold, and a breath out as you lower. Good. If that's too strong for you, then rather than hovering the knees, as you exhale, just draw baby up and in. You're not rounding into the spine, it's just a drawing in. So let's take that again. Babies are relaxed, the spine is long. We take a breath in, breathe out, draw baby up and into your spine, and options to hover. Working hard across the back of the shoulders. And then exhale, release. Let's just take another 2 or 3 of those. You can make that even stronger by bringing some pelvic floor work in. So now I'm going to bring the heels together. So again, as I exhale, I'm going to draw baby in, squeeze the heels, and options to add that hover. So again, breath in, breath out, lift baby, squeeze the heels, options to hover or keep the knees on the mat. Breath in as I hold, and breath out, release. 2 more here. If you've had enough, just sit back into child pose. Otherwise, breath in, breathe out, draw baby up, squeeze the heels, feel those sit bones connecting into that pelvic floor, and release. 1 more for good luck. Breath in, and out. Squeeze, and then release. From here, knees wide, big toes together, sink it back into that child pose, reaching down, or again, you could stack the hands for the head to release onto. Steady with the breath, feel the breath traveling into the back of the body now, and the back of that rib cage and diaphragm expanding. Again, if you're not comfortable this low, bring yourself up and support yourself on a chair or your birthing ball. Perfect. And then from here, we're just going to push ourselves back up into high kneeling, or if you don't feel comfortable kneeling on the knees, then come up into sitting. And we're going to take eagle stretch just to release through the backs of the shoulders. So with this, I'm taking the arms out. We're going to pull the wrist back first and have a nice big stretch and a breath in across the chest. And then as I exhale, I'm wrapping the shoulders together. Elbows are stacked. Now, if you feel quite tight, you might want to just stay here. So I'm reaching those fingertips around the back of the shoulder blades, and I could just drop the head here. Or my full eagle pose, I bring the hands either back to the hands or palms together. So you see I'm staying in this crossed elbow position, and then I can just reach upwards. So now I've got this huge stretch across the back of my shoulder blades. And again, I send the breath into that space. And just take a moment here. And again, we carry so much tension in the shoulders throughout pregnancy, physically with the changes to our body, but also the stress and the worry of our birth or what life's going to be like once baby arrives. That can all build as muscular tension in the shoulders. From here, let's open up again. Let's take that arm backwards into that little bit of nurse stretch. So some of you might get a bit of a zing here. Breath in, and then this time as you cross over, take the opposite arm over, wrapping round either again just across the backs of the shoulder blades, or bringing the hands together. And if you can, pushing up and overhead, and again sending that breath into the back of those shoulder blades. Couple more breaths here. And then slowly unravel. Let's just interlock the fingers and take a little Mexican wave, so just release the wrists out. And then interlock those fingers, push the heels of the hands forwards and just draw baby back towards you. And then lift up. And then shake it all away. Lovely. Good, so we're just going to finish with a little bit of relaxation now. So again, feel free to come back into any of those sitting positions that we started in, or you can lie on your left side. So just taking a moment to get comfortable, using any props that you need to. And the hands might be relaxed, so palms facing up is a way of receiving energy. Or you might want to bring both hands to baby, or again that hand to baby, hand to heart. I invite you now either to drop that eye line or just close the eyes. And you'll notice around you lots of external distractions. Music, maybe traffic, other people in the house. Maybe the mind's busy with what you've got rest of the day to fill with. And I just want you to start to close those external sounds off. In your birthing environment, that might be staff, it might be buzzing of machines, heart monitors, and it's learning just to drown those sounds out. Bring your awareness deeper into your own body. And I want you to tune into the sound of your breath, that nice steady in through the nose and out through the mouth. Notice how the breath sounds like the ocean waves, rhythmical and steady. And your body is expanding and softening with each inhale and exhale. Surrender to the breath. And with each exhale, just allowing that body to feel heavier and more relaxed. Notice how the belly rises and falls with the breath. And how that feels through the whole body. Like we did at the start, sending that breath down to the tips of the toes and the end of the fingers. Feeling that body letting go. Notice the temperature of the air as it hits the back of the throat, as it enters the body. And how that warmer air leaves. So our breath can really activate our senses. And then now just start to deepen the breath slightly. With that inhale, feel energy traveling through the body. Starting to bring that awareness back into the room and the space around you. Maybe just starting to filter some of that external noise and distraction back into your periphery. But let that breath be that overruling sound and movement and sensation. And now as that deeper breath starts to build, gently start to bring some movement into the body, wiggling the fingers and toes. Or maybe gently rolling the shoulders or turning the head. The eyes can stay closed a little longer if you like. Making some bigger movements now. Maybe if you're on your side, you might want to start to come up into sitting. And then just rub the palms of the hands together, create some warmth into the hands. And then when you're ready, gently place them over the eyes Enjoy that last moment as still, dark and calm. And when you're ready, just gently wiggle the fingers, flickering that light back in as you bring yourself back into the present moment. Thank you.